Okay, so we have this root position over here. The box that it's in, we're going to find out where those boxes are. So what I've done, and then the minor is the same thing, except with the minor arpeggio, we do the minor third first, then the major third. The perfect fourth straight up, then the minor third and the major third. So treat this just like a pattern stack, like we've had before with the S2Ls and the S3Ls. These guys right here, the pattern stacks, right? Treat them just like them, where they're going to be that shape until they hit the tuning warp, and they ain't going to change, no matter what key you're in. As long as you know what key you're in, and you know what number you're on. So root would be that key that you're in. If you're in F sharp, root is F sharp. Okay, and the second up from F sharp would be G sharp. F sharp, G sharp, A sharp. The fourth of F sharp is B natural. But we're in the key of C now, but it all works in the other keys too. It's just you have to learn it in C first. So that is what we're going to do. We're going to take these arpeggios and put them through the tuning warp. Okay, and then the minor rule we'll get to after we make the arpeggios. So this is just some eye candy, all right, that I can show you where we're at, you know. And this is the C box. So, you know, a C pentatonic would be, you know, E, G, A, C, D, E, G, A, and then to the C there, because it's warped up now. Okay, actually the 7 was warped over from that pattern that we were looking at over there with the 7R2. Okay, the S2L, S3L, whatever. Let's get to the interesting stuff. So we know that these tri-pentatonic scale boxes are bigger than the regular scale box, but I have a rule to make it really easy. With the Dorian, we're going to study the Dorian first. Okay, so in the key of C, okay, like that. That's just different inversions going up and down. In the key of C, the Dorian would be the D minor. Okay, so let's look at what we have here. This particular fretboard. All right, it's the same fretboard. 3 there, 3 there. Root there, root there. They're all 3 the same fretboard. Okay? Alright. It's getting a little chilly here. It's at night though, at least, so my throat isn't scratchy. Alright, so what we want to do is all 3 inversions full arpeggios. See, over here there's the 3 inversions, but they don't start from the bottom string. Here we're going to start the inversions from the bottom string. So let's start with Ionian, the easiest one. Now I know I was talking about Dorian, but we should start with Ionian, the easiest one. Okay, so that's what this arpeggio is. It's root 3, 5, and then straight up. Remember our pattern? Remember the pattern we had? Root, major third, minor third, straight up, and then you hit the warp. So instead of going over here, just like this one, for the major third, it has to go up 1 to compensate for the third tuning of that string is actually down tuned. So to keep the pattern the same, you play it up 1, and this is virtually what you play. It is what you play. It's not just on paper. Alright, so it'd be So you see how I had that 3 going straight up? G, C, E. In the key of C. G is the 5th, C is the root, and E is the 3rd. Now they're all colored yellow because this is a root, an Ionian arpeggio, and the Ionian is R3-5, root 3-5. Now let's look at this. I don't want to get too into it right away because there's a lot of good stuff to see, and that this is catching your eye. You know, this is good. We're going to get to that when we get to the Dorian. Once you understand the Dorian, this will be easy and fun. One thing to remember at the Dorian is the next up is 4. The next up. What is the next up? That we will get to. The next up. But first we got to do the Ionian, the R3-5. So here's our root-based arpeggio, and it ends up in a root 3-5 right there. It's got a root chord right there. All right. Now if we start the arpeggio from the 5th, this is full arpeggio inversions. Okay, so the chord we get on top here is root 3-5, which is a strange shaped root chord. What cage is that encapsulated by? Is it encapsulated by this one? No, because the R3-5 goes out of this one, because this actually covers this. All right, so this one, it is not that one, and it's not that one, because we're looking at root 3-5, right? We're looking at this guy, and you know, the root, the 3rd, and the 5th. So which one encapsulates both of them? And that would be this one right here. This tri-pentatonic expanded cage. Why is it expanded? Good question. Because, so this one's the one we're going to use. A-R, D4, E5. Alright, remember, R is 1. Okay? 4 is 4, Roman numeral 4. Okay, so it's the Lydian. R is the Ionian. 4 is the Lydian. And 5, right here, the 5 is the Mixolydian. Okay, so in this particular green box here, the A shape, remember A starts on the 5th, because when you play an A, and just an open A here, that E becomes the 5, because E is the 5th of A. This is a little funky today. Anyway, so that is the cage that this chord that we're talking about is in. And the rule for the majors, which is Ionian, Lydian, and Mixolydian, you read it right off. You don't have to do a substitution. So right here, you are in this cage. All right, and the question is, what shape does that belong to? All right, well, the A would be 5, 6, R, 2, 3, 5, 6, R, 2, 3, 5. Okay, so the A shape gets it. How you want me to play that? That's easy, right? Like that, okay, but the A shape there is okay, that's the A shape. Let's look at the D shape there. All right, the D is the 4 shape. 5, 6, root 2, 4, 3, 6, root 2,